What's going on, true believers? I'm back. It's Thursday, and you know what that means. Top 5 Thursdays. This week is tight ends from the 90s. Yes, they're not like the tight ends we got now as a recording. This is 2024. But if they could have played in today, I think their numbers would have matched up. And you had to be there to understand what I'm talking about. So sit back, relax, and let's start this show, shall we? Let's fucking go. Yeah, what's going on? So, as always, I hope y'all not this not your first time watching, but we always start with the honorable mentions, and I usually do four. But for '90s Titans, like I said, these Titans was not like how they are today, but I got three honorable mentions. So, first one is Wesley Wall. First, hold on, the first um tight end for the Carolina Panthers, pretty much. He was Kerry Collins' favorite um, favorite target, if I remember right. And West had a great career, especially in the '90s. That's all I can give you. That's all I can give you, honestly. Next, Eric Green. Like I don't think a lot of people remember from the Pittsburgh Steelers days. Um, Not to be fucked with. Eric Green was a great blocking tight end. You got to be that in the Pittsburgh Steelers days of running. But when they need a pass, especially in the middle, Eric Green was that tight end. And next and finally, God rest his soul, Frank Wycheck. I know a lot of people remember him for the Music City Miracle. Was it a forward pass? Was it not? But let's take that out the way. He's a great tight end. He was pretty much a great check down to or for Steve McNair. Uh, he did do some great blocking with that line with Mr. Bruce Matthews, making holes for Eddie George. But yeah, one of those tight ends back then that could do it all. Just like the men on this list. And that's my honorable mentions. Let's get to the first person. Y'all might know him as Unc now, and he had a big mouth now, but he had a big mouth then. Talking about Uncle Shannon, Uncle Shannon Sharp. Last week, I put his brother in the honorable mentions because his career got cut short. But this is the Sharp that stayed. This is the Sharp that's a three-time Super Bowl winner. Two with the Broncos, one with the Ravens. With the Ravens, one happened in 2000, so it didn't make the cut, or did it? No, it did not make the cut. Um, but the two rings with the Broncos, he actually helped revolutionize the tight end position. How we see it now. If this was the '80s, I'd say Kylo or Mr. Winslow. But it took time, you know, in the '90s to get tight ends there. We had to worry about the tight ends. Shannon Sharp was that tight end you had to worry about because he could come off the line, he could go in slot. He was a big body. Um, as y'all see, he's kind of still like a big body. No pause, no Diddy. But dude was You could not match him. You could not put a linebacker on him. You couldn't put a corner on him. And yeah, remember, tight ends was not used to going deep. Again, pause. But uh, Shannon will get you. And yeah, you see Shannon rocking the chains during the game. Come on now. But again, most of the time, Pro Bowler. When he retired, he had the record for tight ends and receptions and touchdowns and yards as of retirement. He is a Hall of Famer. Got all respect for Shannon playing days. But now y'all know him as a podcaster. You don't know him as a player? Go do your research and look him up. Next, before Gronk got there and wore the number 87, the original 87, Mr. Ben Coates. Mr. Ben Coates, any freaking Jet, Buffalo, Miami fan will tell you, you do not want to fuck with Ben Coates, especially when Drew Bledsoe got there. Oh man, Ben went the fuck off. In fact, I think Ben had 100 reception season. That's how far he went off. You know, he was the number one target for Drew Bledsoe until he got some other weapons with Terry Glenn and Curtis Martin got there. Ben Coates was the man. I'm not sugarcoating shit. You could not look at the size of that man. Another one. Why would your best bet is to put a linebacker on him, but you gotta make sure your linebacker is speedy. Well, at least just catch up with him. Ben Coates had hands. Ben Coates, I don't know about his running, his blocking scheme, but passing, Ben Coates was the original 87 for New England Patriots. Respect goes to Ben Coates. Um, my third pick, I'll go to San Francisco, Mr. Brent Jones. Brent Jones, with all that luxury that the 49ers had in the 90s. Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Ricky Waters, Roger Craig before Roger Craig got traded, of course. You had this guy. Like, Steve Young had no choice but to be a Hall of Famer. And don't forget the West Coast offense. So he had no choice but to be a Hall of Famer with people like this. Brent was a shorthand tight end. I always said he had to be the third option or the fourth security blanket for Steve Young before he even thought about running. Like Brett Jones was that guy. He actually has 2 Super Bowl rings. Yeah, I think he got 2 Super Bowl rings. Not in the Hall of Fame, but as a recording. But he gotta be in like the Ring of Honor for the 49ers or something. He gotta be. My next tight end, you'd be surprised. Keith Jackson. Keith Jackson, drafted from the great University of Oklahoma. Went to the Eagles. Another guy that a lot of people like did not look at as a threat, and he was a threat. Like, honestly, he's another guy Randall Cunningham was lucky to have. Dan Marino was lucky to have, and Brett Favre was lucky to have. And when I say that, yes, he went to free agency hit. He went to Miami. Had some great years in Miami. And yes, he also has a Super Bowl ring. He won when he got traded mid-season. Actually, he got traded mid-season the year before he won Super Bowl to the Packers, which he helped with another upset in the playoffs against the 49ers. The next year, him and those guys won Super Bowl, won the the Lombardi Trophy back to Green Bay. As a recording, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame, but I think he's in the College Football Hall of Fame. I think. But Keith Jackson was one of those tight ends in the '90s that you had to, who you guarantee if it touches his hand, he's catching it. Last but not least, Cowboy fans know who this is. Jay Novacek. Now, you look at Jay Novacek and you think, oh, he's a scrawny tight end, but that boy could block. Oh, yes, that boy could block. But he also was, I could say, he was actually a great third down tight end, if if that's if that's the right phrase. Jay did not look like he was like a Keith Jackson, Brett Jones, um, Ben Coates, even Shannon size wise, but he was great in those security blanket passes that would give you at least a good average 10 to 12 yards if needed. And again, three-time Super Bowl champion. I think help me, Cowboy fans, help me out here. He is part of the Ring of Honor in the Cowboys franchise. He is not the all-time leader in receptions, I tell you that. But in tight ends, he got to be number two. He's number two behind Jason Witten. But before Jason Witten, baby, at least this guy got something that Jason don't have. He got the rings. He got the rings. So that or those are my tight ends. Yes, it's a short video because tight ends in the '90s was not such a luxury like they are today. But we had some. I did not mention one. I should have as my honorable mention, but his numbers don't show like these guys. But he had a game to remember. I'm gonna say his name, Johnny Mitchell with the New York Jets. He had a game I remember to this day. He scored 4 touchdowns. Even though the Jets lost, it was against the Eagles. I'm never gonna forget it. And he had 4 touchdowns, and he was burning the Eagles. If the Eagles they have a young man named Eric Allen return that fucking interception the way he did, if you're an Eagle fan, you know which one I'm talking about. It was something to see. So that's my tight ends. Again, it's a very opinionated top five. You've you got a different top five, please put in the comments, like, share, subscribe. Um, and always, please, always check in the content. I guest on other people's podcasts. Uh, I am a co-host on other podcasts, but this is right here. This is my side project, my new venture. So until then, I am your boy, Enforcer. Y'all have a nice day. Deuces.